The Power Cosmic season is bringing Silver Surfer to headline the Battle Pass, the most flexible Battle Pass card we have received ever since Wave. I don't think that Wave as an energy cheat might never be supplanted in that title of the most flexible card, but Silver Surfer here is doing incredible work. 3-0 on reveal, give your other 3 cost cards plus 3 power. Now, he is not buffing 3 power cards, he's buffing 3 cost cards. There was a little bit of a misunderstanding from a couple viewers on my stream prior to him being released. He does not work with Cerebro. He works in many other places, though. An extra tool in the toolbox of Mr. Negative, an extra power bump for Sera. Sera, after the little slap on the wrist that the devs gave her in the last balance patch, really hasn't lost a step, doing incredible work. Silver Surfer is helping buff her up. Play alongside the on-reveal suite of synergies with Wong and Odin. Silver Surfer can play in so many different areas. All of those cards I mentioned, play them all together in an insane hybrid chimera deck with all these different win conditions. It all works. I have 4 decks to get you started with Silver Surfer. Now, which one is going to rise to the top of the meta? Is he going to be able to make a dent in the mainstream meta at all? Stay tuned to the end of the video to be able to find out. First list we are breaking down is going to be Surfin' Sera. She is able to give us the energy cheat we need to leverage all of these 3-cost bodies to the board so that Silver Surfer can hit for a huge value. Also, these 3-cost cards are just good on their own. So the power of the energy cheat from Sera combined with the high roll of being able to combo with Silver Surfer makes this deck play very well indeed. So we just effectively went to the 3-cost category here in the game and we started stapling them in. We're playing Sera as our highest cost card. We have Wave to be able to get the Sera down to the board early. We have Domino so that we at least have something to happen early. We also have the Nova because this list ended up tailoring a little bit more towards control. There are so many different cards down here in the 3-cost price point that it's a very flexible list. And you can find some sub-synergy and synergy packages. You can play Storm Juggernaut, and you can also play Lockjaw if you want to be able to go more into the on-reveal abilities. You can even fit in Kingpin and Polaris if you want a little bit of destruction control, but what we have ended up taking is going with Rogue, able to steal ongoing abilities, Cosmo to lock down people that are trying to rush on reveal power, and then the Killmonger if somebody is dropping down a lot of low-cost cards. So we have the Nova as well to be able, if you're going to run Killmonger, you might as well play Nova, right? We can distribute all of the AoE buffs, and because we have Brood establishing a couple extra bodies on our side of the board, I do enjoy having the Nova fit in. Swordmaster and Maximus are effectively final turn towards the end of the game finishers for a very high value exchange of energy to power, and then Captain America also just trying to hold the line. Playing him to Brood's location is going to be great. Silver Surfer coming in to try and give us the win by buffing up all of these lanes. Jumping in here to try and get a good showcase for the deck. You know, as soon as you're testing a new deck. First game, the Silver Surfer never appeared. Next game, Ego started to pilot my deck right into the ground, so here we are. We're going to do showcases for all 3 decks. Going to keep the deck list up above updated, and I would love to know in the comments, what have you guys been finding success with around Silver Surfer? He seems very fun, like there's a lot of flexibility in his lists. If the list is particularly spicy, I would love to try them out myself. So we're going to pass here on turn 1, guaranteed to get Domino into turn 2. Strange Academy, I don't like the cards getting shuffled around. Normally I just avoid playing there until towards the end of the game when I've kind of got things figured out. So Mr. London. We don't want Domino getting copied. We have more valuable cards. With the Nova show from the opponent, getting Cosmo down to control their on-reveal sounds like the best option. Though it will limit our Silver Surfer, that's for sure. So, what do we like? What do we like? Do we choose to just run at the opponent with hordes and hordes of 3-cost bodies and then play the Silver Surfer? I feel like that is the route that we go.
Avengers! Assemble.
And then,
Assemble.
At what point do we start copying Surfers? Because the Surfer will be able to buff a cloned Surfer, right? I believe this is the case. So I think that we do that now. I mean, why not? To be able to buff the double Captain America. yeah. And then we get him back to hand. We'll let the opponent do whatever he wants to do over there. They should have just played the cloning vats. My friend Black Panther playing the cloning vats goes back to hand. I'll play Silver Surfer again. We just start establishing all the Surfmen. He'll be able to buff the other Silver Surfer and the 2 Captain Americas. They got White Queen. to get any of our 3-cost cards. So now the secret of the deck is out. It buffs them all again. I'm worried that the opponent just has too strong of a setup with the Panthers. Though with the Weed Queen locking off their Sinister London, I think they're toasted actually. So this is where we go Brood into Surfer. Brood will spawn 1 Broodling, bounce over here, spawn 2 Broodlings. I'm not going to snap because I don't want them to back off. I want to show. This is an insane high roll, guys. Oh, you got 1 Captain America? That's cute, Shang-Chi. Very cute. And then they got the Agent 13. Sure. Brood, Bamf. And then, oh no, if you had bounced, you needed to go left. Was that too much to ask? Just to get you to go left? Thankfully, it didn't matter. That was very close even on our high roll. Into our second game here, we have the Sera and the Wave in hand. You'll love to see it. Nid Avalier, quite good for us. We can easily fill this lane up. We'll leader. Blank leader.
Assemble.
Snap on that.
What are the odds?
I might actually snap up against the opponent losing out on leader. And then no turn 2 play. This feels better and better for us. Shuri's Lab. Also very good for us. I'll play the Wave to Shuri's Lab. So the big cards that we want doubled are going to be the Swordmaster, which we have in hand, the Maximus, of course. And that's what we've got. Well, we could also play Sera there as well. Sera jumping up to an 8 means that she is under the range of Shang-Chi if they're playing. If they have Shang-Chi and then expecting a very powerful card at Shuri's Lab to be able to hit. We got the Killmonger. Blank Killmonger. There's the Silver Surfer. He has arrived. Heralding. In the purple, he is looking so good. Now, normally I always go gold. He's looking good on the silver and purple. Maybe the silver gold's going to look even better. Ah. We had the death. Now, we do have the Nova. I don't want to discard anything. So, we just play Killmonger to grab the buffs. We'll be able to draw into our next card. Wave's going to hold us back. We can only play 2 cards next turn. We're just matching each other back and forth. Our Nova goes. We get all the buffs. And we do draw the max. Ooh. Okay. So max here for 14 gives us a winning scoreline. The Silver Surfer will absorb the +5, and then it will buff the entire board, putting Captain America above Atsakar. The opponent with the Wave can't have a very powerful card themselves. It's helping slow us down. We would have been able to play Swordmaster normally. Not going to snap, but I feel solid. We just have the Shang-Chi, which does clip the Sera because I buffed her with the Nova after saying that she was going to be free of that. But it's too much pressure. Grabbing the +5 from the Nidavellir and then getting the AoE buffs. We were able to buff, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4 bodies. So Silver Surfer hit the board for 17.3 cost card. Our next list we are calling Negative Zeros. This was already an established archetype in the game, and as a math nerd, I'm getting probably too much enjoyment out of that name. And Silver Surfer slots in here just beautifully. The deck building criteria is you build the Mr. Negative shell with Psylocke, Mr. Negative, of course, the Iron Man, and now we bring in Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor. On reveal, draw all cards that cost 0 from your deck, which Mr. Negative can then flip all of the cards with 0 power into 0 cost. Jane can draw them all. So the deck building criteria is either you're picking all of the rest of your cards as a 3 cost card or a 0 power card. So we have the Zola and the Iron Man at the more expensive side. We have Jubilee just because she works so well with Mr. Negative himself. And then our zeros are Cerebro, Ironheart, Morph, Mystique, Silver Surfer, and we have Rogue for a little bit of control as well. This is certainly, it has a higher ceiling than the normal Mr. Negative list, but it is less consistent. So it's really amazing to be able to have the high roll. We have dropped Magic, which would have been playing in Jane Foster's place. But if we can play Jane Foster instead, we get this huge rush of power right into our hand. Silver Surfer, Ironheart, Mr. Negative in hand, and then I get a little multiple man. Okay, a little multiple man action for us. Do we actually play it? Oh, why not? After all, why not? We'll get him down. And we do have Jane Foster. So we have to be careful now that we set up our hand to have enough open space to receive all the cards that Jane wants to give us. No, I can't play her because of Dream Dimension. Aww. Ebony Maw. Okay. Bold choice to play Ebony Maw with no support. Avengers Compound. Let's get our Ironheart down, I suppose. I mean, it's something. Daredevil. Okay. Opponent has some control list that they want to be able to play. We'll play Mr. Negative. And oh, it hurts with the Dream Dimension not to be able to actually play Jane Foster. When you draw into the combo and then the locations prevent you from using it. Got the Omega Red.
Clear for takeoff.
Okay, Rogue. Make your appearance. Thank you. Just as we wanted. So then we of course play Rogue. And nothing else. We could actually play the Mystique to be able to copy. And then we could play... Yeah, we could... Well, if we top deck... if we top deck the inverted Iron Man, it's going to be so hilarious. There we go. Steal it. If only we'd been able to steal it before the Mystique went off, but they had the initiative. Of course, Ebony Maw earns you that initiative win. The Zola instead. And this is our final turn. So I want the Zola to distribute a 3-cost card, that being the Ironheart. That way we have extra bodies to be able to receive the Silver Surfer's buff. That looks like what we are going to play through. We could also play it where Silver Surfer plays earlier and then the Zola tags them, and then we try and hit the Silver Surfer. The opponent is retreated. I felt like we were in a great spot there between the Zola either copying the Ironheart so there were more bodies to receive the Silver Surfer buff, or put the Silver Surfer down and as a 50-50. He doesn't buff as many initially, but he could get hit by the Zola and then tag everyone over and over again. Then we probably have played the Mystique copying the Rogue on the offhand chance that we were able to scale up one of these lanes. I love it. Psylocke and Mr. Negative in hand. It's perfect. Perfection. Asgard, Sinister London. Sinister London. Well, if we can get copies of the inverted Iron Man, I'll be very happy indeed. Play Psylocke to Asgard. Play Mr. Negative. Definitely don't do it to Sinister London. It takes for negative power, then you flip your deck back again. Terrible idea. Silver Surfer here, going to be able to be great at Sinister London as well. Feel very confident. Atlantis. Ah, there's the Iron Man. Really wanted to be able to get the inverted Iron Man instead, but beggars can't be choosers. Mr. Negative will now flip our list. With this kind of deck, I really advise having a picture of the list next to you as you are playing. That way you can take stock quickly of what you can expect to be able to draw. Now we have inverted Jane Foster, which is one of the only cards that we don't want inverted. We didn't get into her. If we draw her next turn, we might still... Well, no, she'll be a 6 cost. So basically she's unusable right now. What we can play is Ironheart. You could also go Morph. So we want Iron Man at Sinister London, and we want Silver Surfer at Sinister London. That gives us 2 other spaces for whatever we want to get kind of copied around. I think I'll play Morph just off on the side, and then we'll go ahead and copy the Ironheart. Warpath, opponent playing Ongoing Destroyer. The worry here is that Professor X will catch us if we're too low tempo somewhere. Did we grab an Iron Man from down? Ooh. Don't mind if I do. There's the Jane Foster at 8-5. Not going to be able to play her. But we can play our Iron Man and our Mystique. Yeah. And then, let's see, there are 4 spaces left. We have 3 distributing. We have 1 other space. We just wait, I think. Try and make back some cubes. Climb up back to infinite, guys. We got reset. That one was going to be smooth sailing. The next list that we've got for you guys until we play our crazy hybrid list bringing everything together is called Odin's Surfboard. So this is relying on the core of Wong and Odin. You want that sandwich in between Wong and Odin. Whatever on-reveal ability gets clipped by these 2 guys is going to be able to absolutely pop off. And then we are bringing in a Brood to give us all of our 3-cost bodies. We don't have energy cheats. We don't have really good ways to get a lot of 3-cost bodies onto the board except through Brood. We have Storm for a little bit of control. We have, with the Brood, great elements of interplay with the Black Panther hand buff style deck. So we're bringing in the Nakia, actually can buff up the Brood in case the Silver Surfer is not there. Nakia could also buff up the Black Panther. And then rather than playing the Zola, I'm playing the Taskmaster just for a little bit of a mix-up, as opposed to, I think that a lot of people have seen the Zola. Zola is still going to be very good on this list as well. But the Taskmaster could give us an alternate take that could catch some opponents by surprise. And then, of course, the Ironheart, the Wolfsbane play beautifully here. Iceman Scorpion just gives us something to do early on. And then the Black Panther is here to be able to scale up as an additional win condition. Let's hop in. Wolfsbane, Scorpion, and Odin. Oh, we lose the Odin immediately to the Misty Knight. This list doesn't really have any way to reach over and poke the opponent. Something that the Mr. Negative list that we're going to showcase in a minute is able to certainly do. So we're not able to stop Patriot doing anything. They're going to get their points. We just have to be able to get more points. Which we can if we hit the right combo, but part of that combo was the Odin. And sure, the Odin represents 8 points now, but once they really buff this Misty Knight, I've seen stronger Misty Knights than 8 points. Not sure what the opponent is going to play late. It's a Patriot list. We know what they're going to do. Baxter Building comes in. Do I want to storm the Baxter Building, or do I think that we can stack that location and win? I guess we could storm it. Try and pinch where the opponent is able to play.
Wind, aid my hand.
Storm it. There goes the Squirrel Girl. Give them the extra tokens to buff up. Shocker. We have the Wong. So you're saying there's a chance. Wong plays... I would like Ironheart. Ironheart Silver Surfer could buff our way out of the jam. Wolfsbane also can certainly win Lemuria. The Taskmaster. So the Wolfsbane will be able to gain 8 points. It'll be a 9-point card. I don't know if that really justifies playing the Taskmaster on it. I have to be able to win 2 lanes here. How? If it was the Black Panther, I'd be feeling much better about this. Buff. And a buff again. That is the Patriot. Final turn. We go Brood Surfer. The Brood was probably the best pickup that we could get, getting the 2 bodies here to be able to receive the Silver Surfer buffs, get that doubling buffs. We're also able to still buff the Wolfsbane here with the Surfer. What are we worried about the opponent playing? Do you play Ultron? Do you play Onslaught? I think either way, we're good. It is the Ultron. They get buff delay by 2. We hit it. So this list does have the double vulnerability of, on the one hand, not being able to control the opponent, and on the other hand, being very susceptible to control from the opponent. Able to counter Wong with either the Enchantress, the Rogue, or the Cosmo. Can get shut down quite heavily. Jotunheim. Let's play our Scorp. And then we probably storm Jotunheim. We have the Black Panther, the Taskmaster. I'd love to see Wong and just play Wong, Panther, Taskmaster. That can be a winning play. They go Collector to Jotunheim, eh? Maybe I'll just let the Collector stew a little bit. Play the Storm. Cut off the Mojo World. They got the Colleen Wing. Kills the Sunspot. Yeah, Jotunheim is going to really wear them down now. Oh, I'd love to play the Nakia if the Black Panther was just one tick over. Then it becomes a 12 strength, which is respectable, and then the Taskmaster as well, respectable. Let's just play Ironheart. I really hope that Nakia sees something. The hand buff style of deck is so much fun. I'd love for it to be just a bit more viable. We got the Surfer, so that does rescue us at Flooded. In this case, do I play the Nakia? Just to have the body that'll get buffed by the Surfer, or do we play... I think we actually play Panther. Yes. The opponent, Jotunheim, is wearing them out. Dracula is a solid play, though. There is the Wong. So then we go... to be able to win 2 lanes, though. It's Nakia. And then the Surfer. Do we snap? We should be able to win. I mean, they could rush into Jotunheim with a big piece. And then have Dracula still... They only have 1 card? Oh, so they can't. Never mind. It's ours. It's ours. I was like, if Dracula eats a big card, they have the Chavez... But no, they don't have the answer. Silver Surfer buffs the Storm and the Ironheart exactly as we wanted. Unanimous victory. And now for the final list, an amalgamation of everything that we have dreamed of before, because if you were listening to the cards that we're synergizing with, Mr. Negative, Wong, Sera, they all like being in a deck together. This is surfing everything. The core is still Mr. Negative. We have the Psylocke, but the Psylocke can then diversify into trying to get the Mr. Negative or the Wong on the board early. We also are running the Sera. Sera is better alongside Mr. Negative after she has been changed down instead of 5-5-5-4. She gets that little bit of a discount for us. And then we're also slotting in Lockjaw for even more mayhem. Able to play cards like Gambit, Surfer to the Lockjaw, get them cycled out for something else potentially more valuable. The one hiccup on the list is that we're still trying to run Brood here, which we don't want Lockjaw to pull the Brood, but we should be able to play around that and be able to find success. All right, now we've got our deck list overlay updated. Surfer in hand, Brood, Mr. Negative as well. They just play Electra for a couple rocks, okay. Bar with no name. Well, we snapped to that. Mr. Negative allows us to win bar with no name. Now we can set up the Brood, the Silver Surfer at another location. So if Mr. Negative does actually carry bar with no name, they play a rock to get more rocks. Are you okay, my opponent? Swap the positions of each location. Get out of here. So now we play Lockjaw to mid. It's going to be after turn 4. So we're not sure what zone it's going to be. They've got the Okoye buffing the deck. I think that I want to... Do I take a guess? I have to play Mr. Negative now. So it's either I'm guessing that bar with no name will swap the spot that I want. I guess I play here, right? Because if it goes here, then I still win because they've established the Electra. I just make sure not to play the Gambit to mess that up for me. No, you can play Mr. Negative to the Lockjaw location, get him cycled out. Then the problem is that you have a chance of him coming back up through Lockjaw and undoing what had happened to the deck. But you can play around that. It's pretty unlikely to happen if you're mindful of it. Perfect, perfect. Though now, well, we play our Sera, of course. Inverted Sera. And then we have... just the vomit of cards onto Lockjaw's location, effectively. We could play Brood on the side, and then Surfer Ironheart is what I'm looking at. Surfer Gambit. And here we go. They're playing a zoo list. Ah, we get the Wong though. A 1-cost Wong. Does that change our calculus? It actually might. Because I could play Wong, and then I could play Brood, and then I could play Surfer. Brood will spawn the Broodlings, cycle themselves, and then the Wong and Surfer will like start super buffing the Broodlings. The alternative, the other line of play is just really solid as well, because the opponent is locked out on how much they can really add here. But that would be a winning scoreline with just the Wong. Okay, I'm in. Count me in. And then what could the Brood become? The Brood could become Psylocke, which would not be too exciting. Magic, I would not want it to be Magic, but it could be Magic. It could also be Mystique. There we go, cycle the Brood. Oh, it's a Rock. The Rock that we just added. Buff the Broodlings, and again, we have the Chavez. Unanimous victory.
Victory.
Lockjaw in the opening hand, you'd love to see it. Mystique to be able to pair up with the Iron Man or the Sera if you get a freak magic play early. Or if you get something that pulls the card to the board immediately. There's potential, Not saying it couldn't happen, but it's very unlikely. Negative zone, okay, we might want to fix that with the magic. We could play magic to Lockjaw's location. That's not too bad. Cycle her around. The 3 power on the body's not that exciting. Okay, so let's go. Let's do it. Lockjaw, we're committed. They show Beast. You play a blank Beast with the Collector there to the neg zone? What is happening? We get another Lemuria. Okay. So we'll Brood on right. Prep for Magic mid. I guess the opponent's deck is just really bricked. I would never play Beast to a -1 position though. Oh, there's the Mr. Negative. I think we wait. We'll go Magic first. Flip the neg zone, give us the extra turn. Maybe we play Mr. Negative after that. Maybe we just go Sera. Depends on what we draw into. Got Angela to the neg zone. Bishop, Falcon. Falcon not triggering anything either. And then Agent 13. You didn't want to have the Agent 13 first. They have the space in hand to be able to hold the cards. Okay. Rainbow goes. Magic bounces. Resummons Gambit. We lose the Sera. And we kill the Falcon. What a turn. What a turn. I mean, we could just play, rather than playing Mr. Negative, why don't we just go Surfer, Ironheart, and see what comes back up. I would love it if Surfer flips Wong, and then the Ironheart doubles. We get the Psylocke. Taking us to 8 energy was just enough for Iron Man plus Mystique, or Iron Man plus, well, we wouldn't want the Iron Man plus Mystique, basically. And then you have Devil Dinosaur. There's the Ironheart. So we can go Iron Man, Ironheart. I think that is the play. We're not able to actually win at Lemuria, though. So it would be better in terms of margin of victory to play the Iron Man here. And then Ironheart down here. 2 cards left. I think we win. They play to Limbo. They can add a little bit of power, but the Ironheart is going to be able to add as well. What do you have as a finisher? They play 2 cards. They play both of their cards. It's like Cable and then the Sentinel. If Fury buffs the Devil Dinosaur quite a bit. 17. Cable. 19. And then the buff from the Angela, but the Ironheart held true. Ooh. 1 point. Here is the deck list in all of its glory. I think that this, or a version of this, is going to be the most meta competitive list. is probably going to need to find who you trade out for a little bit more control against the opponent. Maybe the Gambit drops, maybe the Lockjaw drops to be able to bring in Rogue, and then you can steal their ongoing. That helps shut down the Patriot, which you're going to see a lot of. It could help shut down an opposing on reveal list with Wong. That might be a stronger trade up, though. I mean, having the Gambit is just so much fun, being able to destroy the opposing cards. So that's the only control that we leverage right now, though. So that's probably the tech that would be the next evolution of the list. But I hope you guys have enjoyed all of these starter lists for Silver Surfer. I've been testing him, having so much fun playing with this card. Can't wait to hear your decks down in the comments below. Till next time, thank you guys for watching. Keep on snapping.